Hello and welcome, beautiful, vibrant hearts and ephemeral souls, to today's pick a card reading. This is a mystery grab bag reading. I want to see what comes through. I haven't done one of these in a minute, and I felt like it was time. So we have three options to choose from. I picked these as well on the fly. This is very impromptu, but I felt led, so we're gonna see if this found you. There are messages here for you, in one of the groups. Even like there's a message somewhere along this reading. So stay tuned. So group one, the object that I was drawn to pick is this business card. It's my business card, but it's this business card. Group two is denoted by this button. I mean, this is also my button, but it's a little different. And group three is denoted by this little remote. So decide which of these objects you feel the most drawn to. You can also go by the timestamp numerology if you like that kind of a thing. If you always have a certain number of the groups that you're just one that's calling out for you, you can always pick that. But once again, I'll show you group one, the business card. Group two, the itty bitty button. And group three is the remote. So take your time, pause the video if need be, meditate, contemplate on your options. When you have picked one, head down to the timestamps in the description box below. That will take you to your selected option. And with that, we're going to start with group one. Hi, group one. Okay, so you guys chose the business card. Immediately put your name out there. Put your name out there. Start telling people what you do. Start telling people whether it's in career or not. Start telling people about what you're good at. Speak confidently, say it with your full chest. You know you have something to offer, or it's time to really take a chance on something, do it. If it's time to finally be public about your relationship, do it. If it's time to, start to share some gifts and talents that you have, some gifts of the spirit, do it. If you have wisdom and you want to start talking about, sharing it with other people, things that you want to make content about, do it. Do it. Jupiter's transit through Gemini that just started less than a week ago might be very supportive to you in this endeavor, but there's something you're meant to share with others, especially through communication. Do it. You're supposed to be visible. You're supposed to be networking. You're supposed to be communicating. You're supposed to be sharing yourself. Do it, baby. Do it. So that's the first thing I got. So let's pull you some cards to see what Spirit wants to talk about. 15, pause for reflection. Okay, we have pain. At the bottom is love. What a pain in the love. You guys okay? You need some lovin's. Wow, okay, ancestors, the love and legacy of our DNA. Oh, all right. It's interesting because I was already getting almost like 10th house energy initially, so I'll touch on that. Actually, I'll start talking about it right now. Why not? So I will pull tarot in a minute, but I want to kind of go over big themes here. A lot of you guys have been in a period of pause to transmute some pretty serious pain. And for many of you, this is generational healing, right? It is going to be time. And the reason why this made me think of the 10th house as well, is that there's a sense here of your legacy, right? What you're meant to create, what you're meant to put your name on, how you're going to be known at the end of this life when you hang up your hat. And it feels like you guys have done a lot of clearing in order to start kind of almost going into new territory. You might be the first person in your family to start a business, to get a certain degree, to hold a certain position, to, start to get some public notoriety, right? There's something here where you're meant to be a trailblazer. It feels like within your family or just within the circles that you fall in, right? Oh, and there's the phone. So some of you will be getting an important call. Some of you, this is answering the call from Spirit. But it feels like you've been in this period of pause, and there's been a significant amount of enlightenment. And like I said, clearance of painful cycles, clearance of past karma, generational curses, you name it, all kinds of sticky wicked stuff. So let's pull you some tarot to get some more information. That's a little too many, but I wanted to clarify. Pause for reflection. Wow, we have the Queen of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed. Can I clarify pain, please? We have the Knight of Wands, clarifying pain, and the Strength card in reverse. And clarifying ancestors, we have the Seven of Swords with pessimism and the Four of Wands with completion. That's so interesting. I was working with another deck where that was the word for the Four of Wands as well. I was working with that earlier today. And we have the Three of Pentacles at the bottom with works. So again, this could very well have to do with a career, a job, but also who you align yourself with. Excuse me. So with the Queen of Swords reverse and the Page of Pentacles reverse, clarifying, pause for reflection, a lot of you have had a very critical parent. That's immediately something I'm getting. Anything you created was not good enough. Possibly your creative side was squashed and more of your analytical engineering side was valued and venerated. There could be a sense here where following your passions, your creativity was not seen as practical or profitable and thus completely dismissed. Even in your free time is something I'm getting. It feels like this could be a mother figure with the Queen of Swords, but there is somebody in your life, there was a feminine energy in your life when you were young, that was just critical, overbearing. Nothing you ever did was good enough for them. 555 on the timer as I'm saying this. So you've been working very hard to make some big changes in this story, and that's creating room for this breakthrough. And for some, this isn't even just with, somebody in your life, possibly your mother, grandmother, maybe a weird aunt. This is a generational pattern of being overly critical, being overly focused on material survival and excluding other important parts of development in life. There could be a pretty significant generational judgment wound that you've been working on overcoming. It feels like with pause for reflection, these have been, and these two for the clarifier, this has been a time where you've been stopping to ask yourself, is that voice in my head telling me the truth? Because oftentimes our self-talk comes from what our parents say to us. And so there's a sense here of having to stop and evaluate, is that voice in my head right? Is it kind? Is it honest? And is it, where is that coming from? Who gave me this? So you've been doing a lot of work. And I see this as well with the Knight of Wands and the Strength card in reverse, clarifying pain. A lot of fire here. A lot of transmutation. The Knight of Wands is a spiritual seeker. In this deck, the word here is revolution. You've been seeking some type of revolution because it feels like with Strength in reverse, you've learned all the wisdom you can from the dynamic that was at play. This has been a period, I feel, or you are emerging into a period of finding what is true to you. You have broken down the structures that have held you back and caused you quite a lot of pain. And now this is going to be a time for you seeking out what you actually desire. Some of you are very tired from this journey. The white buffalo might be significant in the upcoming like part of your path here. Clarifying the Knight of Wands. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It feels like you're all done sitting on the sidelines. You may have taken things exceedingly slow to the point of procrastination. This is, valuing the practical, the tangible, the material, the financial over the spiritual, the intangible, the passion, the creativity. But it feels like you're all done playing it safe is kind of what I'm getting. And instead you're taking chances on your own behalf. Because there's the King of Wands in reverse at the bottom with transmutation. It feels like you are moving into this place of getting ready to transmute a lot of energy. And the next part of this journey is less about breaking down the restrictive structures and more about venturing out into what actually lights your soul on fire. And I do see that for you. So clarifying ancestors, we have the Seven of Swords and the Four of Wands. It feels like whatever this pattern is has held you back from true completion, feeling whole and complete within yourself, feeling surrounded by people who celebrate you, who are joyously expressing right alongside you, right? There's a pessimism here. There's a sense of, because look, she's looking right here. There's a sense of knowing this exists, but feeling like it's never meant for you, or, even if you get it, it's not all cracked up to be, it's too good to be true. Those types of thoughts. For some of you, this is about finding a partner that you really enjoy, right? That you mesh with, you vibe with, somebody who speaks to your soul and not just a practicality, right? The relationship is not just, something that looks good or appeases certain parties. We again have that Three of Pentacles. Oh, it's gone now. I forgot. We had that Three of Pentacles earlier, which speaks to having a spiritual partnership with somebody where you have similar goals, values, visions, excuse me, morals. You want the same things. You believe the same things. And there's a sense here where it may have felt like, for some, there may have been like the sense of, I'm never going to find a partner who you know, is like me, is kind of the energy, right? Like really speaks to me at the soul. And this is because there were false versions of self that you were identifying with. And because you've been doing the work to, again, break down restrictive structures that kept you stuck in a version, like this person's like in a box, kept you stuck in a version of yourself that's not true, right? Kind of told you, look how he's like getting squished in here. It's like, this is all there is. There's no more room to go. Like, there's nowhere else to go. There's no more room to grow. Because you have broken those structures down, it is now making room for this happiness with the Four of Wands. What is this Four of Wands? The Star. You guys need to know that not only are you getting in divine alignment, but a wish is coming true. And it's the wish that your soul actually asked for, not what other people told you should want, and maybe not even what you had planned for yourself. The Hermit in reverse with Oracle. And this has come from you going within and asking the difficult questions. So your effort and your time is certainly not wasted. It is not in vain, and is going to yield results that make you feel gratified with your own process and your own progress. So that's all I've got for you today, Group 1. I hope this has been helpful. If you're looking to book a personal, I do have available time slots in the upcoming weeks. The link to my shop where you can book is down below. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope I get to read for you again real soon. Take care, okay? Okay, bye. Bam. Hi, Group 2. I don't know why I wanted to like almost narrow my little eyes. There's something where I feel like immediately the energy is you're scrutinizing something, and not in a bad way, but you're just like you're taking a discerning peek here. I don't know, I'm almost getting Queen of Swords kind of energy. So you're like Queen of Swords with a little bit of like maybe Queen of Wands, and then some High Priestess energy. Intuitive, shrewd, and cheeky about it, right? You're not like necessarily angry, but like, we'll see. So you guys were drawn to the button. I didn't even want to take it out of its little tiny bag, which I was like, should I? There is something where it feels like something needs to get buttoned up, right? Something needs to get resolved. And for some of you, because I didn't want to take it out of the bag, for some of you, you know that this is like the last step in a journey, and you're kind of like, you're hesitating. You might be waiting and kind of being like, is this the sign? Should I do, like, is it time? And for others, you're waiting on somebody else to take the button out of the bag. You're like, okay, I know it's time for this cycle to end. I know it's time for something to get wrapped up. And for some, this is even waiting for spirit to give you the sign, or waiting for like that intuitive nudge that it is finally, you know, divine timing is finally bringing something back around. But it is time for something to end. I want to pick this one, actually. We have number 1 with engaged trust. Okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Dance is at the bottom. Let's see what else we got. Womb, okay. We have hunger at the bottom. Excuse me. And scrying with intuition. Look at you guys. Joy is at the bottom. Rejoicing in the present. So I'm going to pull tarot, but I want to start here. So again, a lot of you guys, you're very in tune with divine cycles and timing. We see this with womb here. You might be very in tune with your divine feminine energy, at least at this time, for sure. And it feels a little strange. So we have candles, and whenever I see candles, it makes me think of the wand suit. So there's almost this nod here to the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands for me is about moving forward toward a path that you're very intuitively drawn to. Intuitively, you guys know that a new cycle is about to start. A new path is up ahead. Excuse me. You may have been waiting for just the right time to act on something. You might be feeling like somebody else is going to take action that needs to happen in order for the next step, right? The next stage to start. And there's this sense here with that imagery and the nod to the Two of Wands of like, is it time? Is there anything else to do? What else has to happen before we move forward? And so a lot of you guys are in this limbo right now. And what you're being advised to do first and foremost is to engage trust that with the number 1, this new beginning is happening. You haven't missed anything. Everything is still on track. If you're waiting for somebody else to take the action, it's on its way. I don't want to deliver that baby too early. It's on its way. Everything is going according to plan. So let's clarify engaged trust. the Ten of Wands in reverse with self-destruction. A lot of you guys have had to work on your trust with spirit, and you've made a lot of strides, and you just deserve a pat on the back for that. Yeah, wow, the Ten of Swords with illusion. Oh my gosh. And I want to pull another one, the Page of Cups in reverse with innocence. Okay. Can we clarify womb, spirit? We have the Tower as purifier here, and this is Pele. And the Queen of Swords in reverse with creativity. Can we clarify scrying? Oh, the Ten of Cups with purity. And the Nine of Pentacles in reverse with community. Oh my goodness. The Two of Swords. So here's the, you know, the pause, the peace, but the non-action, and trying to kind of figure out what to make of that, I do feel. So we have engaged trust is clarified by the Ten of Swords, excuse me, Ten of Wands reversed, Ten of Swords upright, and Page of Cups reversed. For some, also with this womb energy and the mother is coming out reverse, if you're trying to conceive and you're struggling with that, I do see that represented here. But you're being asked to engage trust. It's so interesting because 10s always are the end of a cycle, but they also reduce to a 1, indicating that there's a new beginning that comes out of this. You're being asked at this time to to engage trust in the fact that this feels like everything on the surface looks like shit. Looks like everything's falling apart, and you're kind of being asked to engage the trust that it's actually right on schedule. This is kind of this indication that the things are falling apart right now. We also see that with the Tower, because they're too heavy. They're not meant to be carried like this, right? So something has fallen apart with the Ten of Wands here, and we have the Snake, so there's transformation. And with self-destruction, this is because if it kept going, it would be destroying you, right? It would not be working in your favor. It would be taking something away from you. So there's like a loss here with the Ten of Swords that is, in fact, especially just because look at this image, teeny tiny little rain cloud, big old sun. There is a loss in this moment that is disappointing, that is painful. It might even feel like the universe is kind of like stabbing you in the back a little bit. Maybe somebody has betrayed you. It's a bitter loss, but it is actually saving you from a worse loss. And you need to know that. Some of you guys are having painful inner child healing wounds triggered up through this process. And it is quintessential. All right. It is essential to getting what you want. This has to be healed. Right? And I feel this as well with the Tower and the Queen of Swords in reverse, clarifying this womb energy. Some of you feel like I did my research, I was discerning, I was careful, I was intentional in creating something I wanted, and it fell apart anyway. Like, it's like I did everything right. All the lessons that I learned from my previous hardship, I implemented them here. I did the work, so I don't get it. And you're being asked to try to trust again the fact that this isn't a matter of how well you did. This isn't like a test on you, right? This isn't a testament to how good or bad you handled something. This is a cycle that has nothing to do with, it's not reflective of the quality of your effort or your energy. It's that something was not stable here. So if you got things the way you wanted or the time you wanted it, or if it looked the way you wanted, it would actually be doing you a disservice. And I know nobody likes to hear that, but that is something that your guides want you to know. This is actually right on track. I want to clarify the Tower here. The Knight of Wands, something else. We have a lot of Mars energy. Something or someone else here either is not committed to this, or there's this revolution energy, which is so interesting. I have another deck it's making me think of where the Tower card, the word on it is revolution. And there's a sense here where something would not be serving you. It would not be moving forward. It would not be part of your spiritual path. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. This feels like there's somebody else involved in this. And whoever else this is that you might be waiting on, or you might be thinking about communicating with, you're being blocked from this right now. Or things are falling apart to help other things like fall together. Because this person, whoever it is you might be dealing with, needs some boundaries. They need to be blocked from you. They need boundaries before they move to the next step. There's a mindset that is a self-sabotaging mindset. So let's say you're trying to conceive. This might be where your partner has some like hangups about parenthood that they need to work through before they before they become a parent. There's something about like having their commitment tested, getting them to stay in one place. Before you're getting what you ask for, you or another person involved in this situation has a mindset that needs to be triggered up and challenged so it can be worked through. And that is the delay. So it might not even have anything to do with you. It might have everything to do with somebody else that's about to be involved in your manifestation coming true. So with scrying, clarified by the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles reversed, if you're asking about a relationship, you will have your happily ever after, and it will be very satisfying. If you're asking about a living situation, you will have a happy home. I was about to slip. You will have a happy home, right? And there's a sense here with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse and the word being community. This card's usually about being very independent, but here the word is community. You will be happy and you will be supported in this process. You will be loved and appreciated in you getting your manifestation. But something either, again, within you or within, it feels like somebody else who's involved in the situation or will be. So let's say you're wanting to move, right? You might have the perfect house and community situation on the horizon for you, but somebody else who's going to be a part of that happiness is working through some stuff right now. It might have nothing to do with you. And so you just need to know that this is on its way to you. Your happiness, your abundance is on its way. Everything is on track. You're doing everything right. And a lot of you guys just need to hear that. So that positive attitude or that playfulness with the universe, keep that going even when it's tough. I know it's really, really hard. But everything is actually on track. And you're doing a really great job. Trust your intuition, very much so through this time. If you feel led to reach for something and it's not happening, keep going because it's just taking a little bit of time. But there is a very beautiful payoff that will be happening out of this situation. So that is everything I'm seeing for you guys for right now. If you are looking for a personal, the link to my shop where you can book with me is down below. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. It's been great to read for you, and I hope I get to again real soon. Take care. Bye. Hair is tickling my face. Hair on the side of my face. Hi, group 3. I have a burp. I had a little burp. So you guys picked the remote. I immediately was getting this energy of sitting back and watching something, like watch the magic, watch how things play out, pardon my itchy nose. So there might be something where you've done everything you need to do, and now you get to watch things kind of like happen for you. There might be things where you have to, it's like time for you to kind of sit back and observe, watch before you make a choice, because there's iOS and Android here. So maybe sit back and watch before you make a choice. Let somebody show you who they are. Let a situation kind of marinate and start to play out before you pick a side, pick a team, before you back a horse, let them run around a little bit, kind of a deal. And for some, you're being encouraged to take time to get calm and meditative before you make a choice. I don't know why I'm getting judgment energy from this, if you're familiar with the tarot, but there's a call to really sit and think about the story you want to tell in your life before you choose your path moving ahead. So let's see what you get, my friends. This is also a very small note, but for some, there's a note here to not let yourself be controlled by someone. Yeah, wow, okay. Card 2, protect your boundaries. Wow, the stag might be important for you. And then at the bottom is take stock of your achievements. Oh, I already have thoughts. Let's see what we have here, though. Spirit, what does group 3 need to know? Reflection. I have thought. I want to look at this card. Rest here. So again, take a step back if you need to. Sadness is at the bottom. You guys want a hug? And wow, jack-o'-lantern with protection. So here's what I'm getting. We have the lamp at the bottom with remembrance. This is a pretty clear message. If you're choosing between people, if you're having to kind of choose paths, this feels like a situation where somebody is reflecting something very important back to you. And it's really important to really take stock of this person, of this situation. So you're protected first and foremost. You're being protected through this situation, through your decision. But there's a sense here to not rush a choice and to really take everything into consideration. Very King of Swords energy. Take everything into consideration. We had sadness coming out on the bottom of the deck. So you could have somebody who is approaching you with an offer, who is, this has this energy of, with that judgment kind of a vibe. They could be coming back around, begging for forgiveness. I've changed. And I'm not saying they haven't, but there's a sense here to remember. I don't know if you're familiar with the term euphoric recall, but essentially in a nutshell, euphoric recall is when we are looking back at something and we only remember the good things that happen, right? It's like a really interesting psychological thing that happens. It's basically the psych term for looking through rose-colored glasses, but back at the past. You might have a little bit of euphoric recall going on with this situation, with this person. This could be going back to work for a company where they treated you like shit. This could be a situation where you're almost out the door and then somebody's trying to, nab you and bring you back. So you're like about to leave your job and then your boss is like, wait, we have this offer. You're about to be done dealing with someone. They come back around. I'm so sorry. You're going to have to make a choice about where this person fits into your life, where this opportunity fits into your life. And it's whatever you choose is totally fine. But you're being encouraged to take a moment and pause. Again, that image of what story do you want to tell? And is this situation going to be a good part of it? What role are they going to play? And how realistic is your idea of the role that you'll play? At the bottom was take stock of your achievement. So there's a note here, not to sell yourself short. This is giving me 9 of Pentacles energy. Not to sell yourself short, right? There's plenty of fish in the sea. There's a lot of different work opportunities. There's a lot of places you could live. There are a lot of people who are lining up to support you, right? So even let's say this is family. There's a sense here of not to not to say yes to something that doesn't honor you. Even if this is like a family member, like they don't have to be a daily part of your life, right? There are people who, if they're not, if they're critical, if they're not supportive, they're not consistent, if they're not honest with you, there are people who would give their left anything to be a part of your life and to show up and do it well. And so there's a sense here to remember your value and your worth. A lot of you have been kind of figuring out what's for you and what's not with protect your boundaries. And it may have actually been a result of this situation reflecting back to you where your boundaries needed a little bit of strengthening and protecting. You've been getting really good with self-protection, right? We even have the word protection like twice, or protect. And so there is this feeling where this situation is kind of like coming back around or making another grab for your attention, and you're being encouraged to remember your power and remember all the work that you've done. So clarifying, protect your boundaries. We have the 6 of Cups. This is somebody from the past. And the 5 of Wands in reverse we have pleasure and then conflict. Clarifying, reflection. I didn't even get it out. We have the Strength card. It is reversed. It was trying to turn itself sideways, so I do want to note that. We have Leo energy showing up. It's this one. And the 10 of Swords. Okay. And clarifying protection, we have the Page of Wands in reverse with Creative Spark. And the Knight of Pentacles in reverse with Beauty. The High Priestess is at the bottom. The number 2 or repeating 2s might become very significant in this situation. Something I was immediately getting, if there is something about your creative ideas, your ideas in general, particularly something you could monetize, you could implement at work, protect your ideas here. Your ideas are a lot more valuable than somebody's giving you credit for. If you are looking to kind of like strike up a better contract, a deal, get paid more, advocate for that, right? Don't undersell yourself. Take stock of your achievements and see what they're worth, right? Don't be afraid to look at the market and see what other people in your field are doing, what other people with similar kind of ideas, what those are, like how they're doing. Sometimes it's really good just to kind of get that reality check and be like, oh yeah, I am the shit. I got this. Like, oh yeah, these are valuable. I've thought of that exact same thing, or I've done something very similar. Like a reality check is also just like really, like it's handy when you've been around people who are constantly trying to belittle or devalue your efforts. Because it lets you know what your worth actually is. So don't be afraid to do that if you need it. Okay, so clarifying, protect your boundaries. 6 of Cups, 5 of Wands reverse. This is somebody that you've already dealt with. This is somebody that brings you a lot of happiness. This is somebody who I think you really enjoy. The 6 of Cups is you could have known this person since childhood. This could be a family member, somebody who's known you since you were a child. This is somebody who, this feels like a push-pull. You enjoy each other a lot, but there's also a power struggle that tends to take place not infrequently. The 5 of Wands for me is always a power struggle. This also for me, because it usually shows 5 people, like angrily swinging around wands, but nobody's like hitting each other. They're just pissed off and confused. This always indicates a group of people. So it can be a friend group. It can be a family system. It can be like a group of coworkers. It doesn't have to be, but it certainly can. We have Saturn and Leo represented here, so that might be significant. We also have Scorpio here represented. So fixed signs could be significant. Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. Yeah, it's just, this is like somebody who you really enjoy them, but there's also a power struggle. It could also go in a cycle where you guys fight and butt heads, and then, you know, you make up, or things are really, really good, pardon my itchy nose, and then they start to like pick fights over little things, and you just get sick of the conflict. It feels like you put up some boundary with them where you're like, I'm not engaging in this anymore. I kind of want to clarify this Five of Wands because I'm nosy. It's not that one. In general, the word no just keeps coming up, so you could finally be saying no to this person. We have the Six of Swords in reverse with intention. This is an inner child healing card for me. So again, childhood energy, very strong here. This is somebody who just disrupts your peace. This is somebody who always wants to pick fights, who has to argue with you about everything. If you have an intention, or you try to express an intention, maybe you try to plan things, or, you know, be really honest about what your intentions are, they don't listen. They won't engage in that conversation. They criticize you. They're just trying to like cause issues. We have the Fool at the bottom. This person could just be very impulsive, and it constantly creates problems. They have a different way of operating and doing things, and it feels like their way just throws you into chaos a lot. And so I think you've already started to establish some boundaries with them, and you're being encouraged to remember the cycle that this person, you end up being in with this person. Because while there's a lot of good times, there's also a lot of stress and frustration. You're being asked to kind of remember that, because I do think this person with the Five of Wands reversed has been working on it, but they're still themselves, right? They're not a perfect person. And there's a question of how much can they really meet you where you need them to be? How much can they meet your needs is what I'm trying to say. So clarifying reflection, we have the Strength reversed and the Ten of Swords. I see that this person has pushed you to your limits. I see that 110% more Leo energy, more fixed sign energy. You've really tried to see the good in this person, but I feel like it's gotten to the point where you almost have to, like, even though it's a sunny day, you have to end up bringing an umbrella, right? Just in case they end up raining on you. So things could go well most of the time, but when they're because look at how the rain cloud's like right over them. It's like whenever things are going well, this person could come in and like have a crisis and put you in the middle of it, pick a fight with you. It's like when things are good, that's when they self-sabotage. And it's, you know, with the word illusion, it's kind of, I'm getting this energy of it doesn't have to be like this. And it feels like you go through this cycle with this person, and they've just pushed you to the point that even though there's all this good stuff, right, with the sun energy, all this happiness, it forces you to deal with or face the things that make you sad. Even look at this sadness one, right? We have a crying rain cloud, very similar. It forces you to keep coming back to the energy about them that like drives you into this sadness. There's so many things you guys could agree on. You guys could support each other on. There's so many ways it could go well, but something about this dynamic and their behavior constantly puts you in this energy, and it just doesn't have to be like that. And I can tell they've pushed you to your limits. And so you're being asked to remember that, right? And again, whatever you choose, that's totally fine. But you are being asked to remember that as you're making choices. And so then we have protection clarified by the Page of Wands reverse and the Knight of Pentacles reverse. This feels like you, again, if you have a creative idea, something that's a little different, a little new, protect that. You don't have to, I'm getting this energy of being like at a team meeting. You don't have to give them every idea you have, right? For some, take this as it resonates. I was just hearing, don't be afraid to go over someone's head. Take it as it resonates. Don't be afraid to strike out on your own as well. Pardon my burp. Also, don't be afraid to call out with this person where you've given them a chance to, you know, take the spark of inspiration, right? And then build something with it. And they have not done that. The Knight of Pentacles reversed is somebody who, it's a situation where you're investing a lot into it over time. You've been very patient and it doesn't pan out. So don't be afraid to call this person out in a conversation and be like, well, I'd like to work on this more, or I'd like to try again. But every time that, you know, we get into a good groove, we get into a good spot, I notice blank, whatever this might be. I notice you stop communicating. I noticed you stopped being consistent. I noticed that whenever, I end up starting to do all the work and you're really struggling to meet me part way. Don't be afraid to call this person out if you have a conversation about this. And, it doesn't have to be a knockout, knockdown, drag out fight, but it can be like, I noticed this dynamic. How would this time be different? I'd like to say yes to you, but what are you doing about this? How would this turn out differently this time around, as opposed to the pattern I've seen before? Let's see, I want to clarify this. Yeah, the Six of Wands with forgiveness. I could tell you guys, you want to forgive this person. You want to forgive the situation. There's a lot of like respect, affection. There's a lot of potential with Jupiter and Leo for expansion and for it to feel really good. There's a lot of creative potential, but it's like, I need to know that you get it. I need to know that you understand how difficult you made this for me before. So that way I'm aware that you're not going to do it again. Or if you've got eyes on it, you're a lot less likely to do it again. Yeah, because we have the Hermit in reverse. This feels like, show me what you learned. Don't be afraid to ask this person, right? And to kind of be coming to it from the perspective of like, I do want to make this work. I do want to take this position. I do want to work on this project. I do want to reconcile. But this is the Six of Wands. It's victory, success. I need to know that things are going to be different. So tell me about what you've learned. Tell me about what you've gained out of this situation. And again, the energy of sitting back and letting them tell you who they are and then show you, right? We have the hands here. So it's like before you present this, beautiful sacred heart of forgiveness, let them tell you and show you what they've gathered. Because I do feel like this person has done some work, but the question is, have they changed enough, or have they worked on the parts of themselves that have created the problem? I'm being drawn to pull this Oracle card out of the middle of the deck. Rejection. This person might have a deep rejection wound, so they self-sabotage by trying to get you to reject them first, or by rejecting you very like aggressively in some form or fashion. And that's something where it's like, I want to forgive, I want to work on this, but I need to know you're not going to constantly be rejecting this opportunity and self-sabotaging by being inconsistent, by acting like you don't give a shit, by not showing up, by not meeting my needs, whatever it might be. You want to know with all these clarifying protection that this time around your heart is protected, your efforts are protected. And so don't be afraid to ask this person what they've learned and really challenge them to be able to have that open conversation with you. So that is everything I've got for group 3. I hope this has been helpful. If you're looking for a personal, you can book through the link to my website down below, or ask, you can reach out if you have questions. There we go. Sorry, I had a brain fart. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. It was really nice to get the chance to connect with you, and I hope I get to read for you again real soon. Take care. Bye.